Welcome in to Fox Carolina Tailgate, joined by Patrick Sapp. Corey Miller, not here today. Our man's had a tough year.
I know,
but
he has.
He's dealing with some personal stuff, and so our thoughts are with you. Corey, we love you. He is not dodging talking about the moment he told me he wasn't going to make it and he had something going on. I was like, I just know those Clemson fans are going to roast him.
Already
so
the
still
same
go
way.
roast him. Still go roast him by all means. But he is not dodging. He is not here for a serious personal reason, a genuine reason.
Everybody go on his social media and post some Clemson stuff.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just say that.
Go post some Clemson stuff. Tell him that you're sending him positive vibes, but also definitely roast him. Maybe just put that fumble, scoop and score. Just
play it over and over on the loop.
Just
put it on a loop, right?
That'd be perfect. Because we do need to talk about the fact that Clemson defeated South Carolina. So we have a lot of really big news to talk about, but we should start there because Clemson fans deserve this moment, this opportunity after last year, because we talked about it last year when South Carolina came into Clemson and they defeated you and ended a winning streak and a home field winning streak and
all
definitely
of these things, right?
ended for sure, put the nail in the coffin on the playoff picture. So they did it all last year, and this year, Clemson had the chance. They ended the hope of a bowl game for South Carolina.
But so my reaction is going to be a little different than Corey's.
I'm shocked.
Because I expected this, right? We're expected to beat South Carolina, and I think that's the difference. Very disappointed last year when we lost, but this year we got some redemption. Down there in Spaceland or whatever it is, all the lights it's crazy with the light show. I'm like, is this Star Wars?
I am there on the sideline, physically shooting with my camera, and it does mess with the lighting. That's my only complaint. But it looks really cool as a viewer.
Yes, for 1 quarter, but not 4 quarters of it. I'm like, if I had epilepsy, I would be done in this stadium. Like it's crazy with the light show. But hey, when you're trying to sell a program,
okay, hold on. So
do.
Here's what Corey will tell you, though. Then why'd you guys put in lights? You're welcome, Corey.
We only do it maybe once a quarter, like at halftime and at the
he would have come back with that, though, because you guys did add lights.
I know, but oh my goodness. But it was cold as heck there. But I had a great time.
It was incredibly comfortable. I was in a long sleeve T-shirt. It felt great.
No, it was freezing. But the wind made it better. And then seeing all of the Gamecock fans leave at like 4 or 5 minutes left in the game. They have to change that culture.
It was a close game.
Yes, but they have to change the culture. Like, you can't leave the stadium the way that they did.
Yeah.
Like, we don't do that in Clemson. But hey, I was proud of those guys. Not a all advertising, exciting game.
No, it all happened in about the first 3 minutes.
Right? But a win is a win, as we know.
Yes.
And we got out of that with a W. We definitely have some things to clean up as a program and as a team. But you have to win the in-state rivalry game. They got it done. And so that's really all I can say about that is the trophy's back where it's supposed to be and things, the environment's going to be the way it should be now. We're not going to have the extreme weather and all of that because nature is corrected.
Right now it's sounding like San Diego for the bowl game.
I'm not mad at that.
Maybe some Florida options. That's announced on Sunday. We'll find all of that information out. You mentioned some changes need to happen. Some things need to be cleaned up. Dabo Swinney making that move. Heads up, this is recorded on Thursdays. And so for scheduling purposes and high school football purposes. And so this is recorded on Thursday, just on the off chance that anything else happens. But Dabo releasing 2 of his assistants, both Lemansky Hall and Thomas Austin, so DN's coach and offensive line coach for Clemson football. We have a whole breakdown, like 15 minutes for you on our website at foxcarolina.com where we talk about these changes. But one of the things that I really wanted to talk about, and I highly encourage you to go listen to it, because we talk about some places that Patrick might sort of think that possibly some other changes could be coming within the Clemson football program. But one of the things that we didn't get to there that I want to talk to you about here is the timing of these firings. They have a bowl game. They have a bowl game. Why do you make these moves now?
Simple. It's recruiting and getting to the next coach. Because you're going to just organically lose guys because of coaching changes. Because some recruits are really tied to that coach. And I'll say myself really quickly, when I was coming out of school, I was very interested in Georgia Tech. And Bobby Ross was the head coach there, and he took the head coaching job with the Chargers in San Diego. And I immediately just took Georgia Tech off my list.
Yeah.
So you want to do that as early as possible so that you now can communicate with these kids. You can bring in and hire your new coach, and you can let him coach in the bowl game. All those changes you want to happen, get the splash of the media, get everybody's reaction, and then let's move on. So I think you do it as soon as possible.
And it limits our time to really be able to talk about these things, because then we do shift our attention to the bowl game and our coverage of the bowl game, and then it's the draft, and so it does. And recruiting, obviously, with early signing day coming up. I think my other thing is, as a player then, you mentioned that this cuts some ties. What does this do for Clemson recruiting right now? Because they've had a bit of an exodus with transfer portal stuff. I think maybe some more guys than fans expected, just because Clemson doesn't usually lose a ton of guys, and I'm not saying they've lost a ton, but again, that it kind of continues. We hear more and more every single day by the hour. And so is this an opportunity, like looking at it with your son, like if there had been a big coaching change, like how does that affect how these recruits really look at this, and Clemson's ability to hold on to some of these that they were really expecting? Right.
Well, I think that's a great question and a great point. And you're going to see guys that are tied to the opportunity, right? And I tell people this all the time. Every college and high school football player think they'll make it to the National Football League. I'm going to the place that I think is going to get me to my dream. And so nothing more than that than opportunity. So, you know, we take Bo Collins leaving, right? And some of these young recruits we have at receiver, they look at that as opportunity, not that the program's falling apart. It's just that, hey, that guy, for whatever reason, wanted to leave. And now guess what? I'm an ex-receiver that Clemson has, you know, I've committed to. Man, I got a quick opportunity to get to the field. You know, you speak to my son with that, you know, and his opportunity, you know, Sage Ennis got hurt early this year. It pushed him up, opportunity to play. He made the best of it, you know. And so the younger guys are looking at it that way. Recruiting changes with coaches is going to happen, but I think that's why Coach Sweeney is so involved in the recruiting, because he's there. He's a fixture in that program, and that's where that relationship will last.
All right, well, when we come back after the quick break, I do want to get into the transfer portal and some of these decisions. Obviously, guys leaving for the draft as well, which is an exciting exodus for a lot of these guys. But the transfer portal can be exciting as well. And Dabo Swinney already in there mixing it up. So first, we're going to get a look at this weekend's weather, though, as we expect some weather on the way. We'll toss it over to our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Kendra Kent.